Nobody's asking for any more. Nobody ought to settle for any less. But what a nation this would be if one day we got to the place where we could truly say that the country, that the nation is as good as its promise. When you go back and read the I Have a Dream speech, the one speech that we do know that Martin gave. Some folk act like Martin didn't give but one speech in his life. And then some of us act like the speech only had one line in it. We all know that one line, don't we, Brown? Let's say it together. I want my children to live in a nation where they'll not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their... See, we all know that one line. Martin gave one speech, had one line in it, and that's it. All we want to do is to revel in that dream. And our friends on the political right take it even a step further and suggest that Martin didn't want us to be judged by the color of our skin, but by the content of our character. So Martin would be opposed to corrective programs like affirmative action. They take that one line and appropriate it for their own purposes. Here again, demonizing, bastardizing, not making the world safe for the true legacy of Dr. King. But all that Martin King wanted was for us to one day live in a nation that would be as good as its promise. The reality is in 2010 that there's still a huge gap between the promise of America and the possibility in America for everyday people. Still a gap. And now here we come with this new president and this media that's completely stuck on stupid, trying to suggest to us that because he's in the White House, we now live in a post-racial America. Not so. Obama, I tell my black friends all the time, Obama did not get elected simply because of you. Negroes did not elect the president. We could not have done it without a whole bunch of white brothers and sisters who thought he was the best candidate. And that's why Barack Obama won. What that means is that America is less racist, not post-racial. Born of love, hold the president accountable. I recognize all of the, I'm not stuck on stupid here, I recognize all of the challenges that the very infrastructure itself presents the president in doing everything that needs to be done. I get that. Furthermore, I get that Martin was a prophet and Obama is a politician. A very good one, but those are two very different things, being a prophet and being a politician. But I'm troubled by the fact that we got too many folk running around quoting Martin, but ain't trying to be king-like. I wonder then, whatever happened to the notion of love in our public discourse? Let's wrestle with that for just a second. Whatever happened to the notion of love in our public discourse? Let me define love right quick. When I say love, I mean simply this, that everybody is worthy just because. I don't care what school you went to, how many degrees you have, what hookup you got, who you know, who your mama and them are, how much money you make, where you work, where you live, what you drive. No, love means very simply that everybody is worthy just because. That means the life of a kid in Mississippi is as valuable as the life of a kid in Beverly Hills. It means that the life of a child in Palestine has the same worth and value as the life of a kid in Israel. It means that the life of a Hutu is no less valuable than the life of a Tutsi. Leadership is not about the title, not about the paycheck, not about the accolade. Leadership is about loving and serving people. You can't lead folk if you don't love them. You can't save folk if you don't serve them. So all that matters are these two things. One, what is the depth of your love for everyday people? And what then is the quality of your service to them? When you get your degrees, and you ain't got to wait till then, tonight, tomorrow, marinate on that. if you would be king-like, if you would do your small part to make the legacy of Martin safe in the world, you wrestle on those two questions. What is the depth of your love for people? And what is the quality of your service to them? Cowardice asks, is it safe? Expediency asks, is it politic? Vanity asks, is it popular? But conscience asks, is it right? And every now and then, people, we must take positions that are neither safe, politic, comfortable, or convenient, but we take these positions because our conscience tells us that it's right. With all due respect to Barack Obama, to his credit, he is but one man, and he cannot be all things to all people. That's why I keep reiterating, if we are going to make the world safe for the legacy of Dr. King, we're going to have to be Martin-like. Martin wasn't giving speeches from an ivory tower. He wasn't writing books and just putting stuff out. He was in the street marching. He was at the protest rallies. He went to Appalachia. He slept in a tenement in Chicago with poor people. Again, being a sermon, not just preaching a sermon. That's the lesson, I hope, of this lecture, this conversation tonight, that to make the world safe for Dr. King, we have to take on the attributes of Dr. King. Justice for all, service to others, and a love that liberates.